This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 770, The Oxygen Mask on Motherhood and Self-Care, by Hilary Barnett of wholemotherhood.co. Hello, everybody. Greg Audino here. Glad to have you with us for our final show of the week here on ORD. This is the show on which I read to you from some of the world's greatest online content regarding relationships. But we've got 4 other shows in our network. And to keep up with all of them and become a part of our wonderful online community, just want to remind you to join our mailing list by visiting oldpodcast.com. We'll send you weekly updates about shows, inspiration, information, and there's a lot of opportunity there for our listeners to collaborate as well. It's a really good place to be. But this is a good place to be too. So why don't we do what we came here to do? Get ready to be enlightened, parents, by Hilary Barnett's words of wisdom as we optimize your life. The Oxygen Mask on Motherhood and Self-Care by Hilary Barnett of wholemotherhood.co. Does anyone ever listen to pre-flight instructions anymore? I remember the first time I rode on a plane at age 15. I sat, eyes wide, listening intently. I knew the information I was being given could save my life, and when you're flying for the first time, you are most certainly convinced that you are risking your life. The instructional portion that always seemed counterintuitive to me was the oxygen mask. Wait, let me get this straight. You mean before I save my kid's life, I need to save mine? And that if I don't put my oxygen mask on first, my kid is less likely to survive? That goes against every intuition as a parent. But the more I think about it, the more it makes sense, and the more it applies in all aspects of motherhood. I have seen it time and again, in my life and the lives of friends. When you put yourself and your marriage first, your children thrive. I don't mean this in a "it's all about me, my kids can figure it out" kind of way. We love and cherish our kids with all we have, and we do everything to provide for their physical and emotional needs. But I would argue that as a mother, your primary job is not to raise happy kids. Your job is to be whole. I'll say it again. Your job is to be whole. More than anything in the world, they need to see you as someone who is fighting for wholeness. Put on your oxygen mask first, Mama. Without it, you will not be able to care for your children. It is not selfish, it is not wrong. It is the most loving, most sacrificial, and most important thing you can do for your kids. The oxygen mask isn't employed every single flight, but if you find yourself in a crisis, you have to choose wisely. When you find yourself exhausted, resentful, and bitter, put on the oxygen mask. When you find yourself at the end of your ability to express care or concern, put on the oxygen mask. Making our children the top priority every second of every day at the expense of our health, our sanity, is doing them a disservice. It is laying a burden on them that they are not strong enough to carry. They will disappoint you eventually. They will be unhappy, rebellious, or disinterested. They will not live up to the standard of happiness that we so unwittingly place upon them. But if you are tending to yourself, your marriage, and your wholeness along the way, you can weather any storm together. So often we are told that we have to choose between tending to ourselves and tending to our children. But this dichotomy is false. We can do both. We can take care of ourselves, we can make time for ourselves, and we can love our children as well. We need to ask ourselves, is this something our kids are asking us to do? Or is it something culture has demanded from us? My husband and I recently took our first ever staycation at home without the kids, and let me be really honest, it was amazing. Yes, I missed my kids, but it was so needed. Rather than going somewhere else, we got to be us in our home. We inhabited the space differently. We moved about the building in a more relaxed, less chaotic way. Our bodies, our space was just ours. We weren't tending, fixing, consoling, diapering, or cleaning. We were just being. We talked and talked until I finally ran out of words around the afternoon of day 2. I just stopped and realized that everything inside my heart had finally come out. And it took 2 days. And then we talked more. But it wasn't the kind of talking that is frantic, the kind that is just about the kids or the bills or the groceries. It started there, sure, and then it went to what we were thinking about lately. our lives, our current events, and of course, how amazing our kids are. What they have been doing lately that delights us or perplexes us. And then it went to what we were feeling, and then to what our souls were experiencing. It took 3 days, and at the end, we felt whole again as a couple. And we realized that, although this wasn't easy to make happen, and we wondered if it was the best decision, we needed it. And you know what? At the end of that, we loved our children better. So book that massage, take that run, linger over that coffee, book, or long overdue conversation. Schedule that counseling appointment. Do what you need to be the best human you can. Your kids will be better for it. You just listened to the post titled, The Oxygen Mask on Motherhood and Self-Care by Hilary Barnett of wholemotherhood.co. A great post by Hilary here, a post that I don't think any parent can hear enough. Parenting is often viewed as one of the biggest commitments of one's life, rightfully so. And with that comes a lot of self-inflicted pressure to succeed as a parent. This huge part of a parent's identity thus becomes so large that it does often cause parents to put their own happiness in the back seat. But of course there is a line at which so much sacrifice begins to harm the children, as Hilary points out. We've said it before and we'll say it again. It is of utmost importance to make time for the things that make you whole so you can arrive with your children feeling invigorated, in control, and setting an example for them of how they should live their lives all the while. So yes, get out of here and go book that massage, people. We're done anyway. But only for the weekend, which I hope is a good one for all of you. I can't wait to be back with you guys next week with more great content and where your optimal life awaits.